Steve Cropper, a man whose guitar could speak louder than words, and whose quiet presence shaped some of the greatest songs in soul music history. Today, we take a deeper look at his mysterious passing, his powerful life story, and the final moments that closed the chapter on a legendary career. Steve Cropper died at the age of 84 in Nashville. The announcement came from his family, and instantly flooded the music world with shock and sadness. What makes his passing even more heartbreaking is the uncertainty surrounding it. A cause of death has not yet been revealed. What we do know is that Cropper had recently suffered a fall and was recovering in a rehabilitation facility. Friends say he was in good spirits, looking forward to getting back home, and even planning new music. Longtime associate Eddie Gore visited him just one day before his death. According to him, Steve was talking about riffs, upcoming projects, and ideas he still wanted to bring to life. Gore described him as a good human, someone who inspired everyone in the room, even in his final days. No drama, no fear, just a man still filled with creativity and gratitude. Steve Cropper's journey began in rural Missouri, before moving to Memphis at the age of 9. Memphis wasn't just a new home, it was the birthplace of his destiny. With a mail-order guitar arriving at age 14, Steve began chasing a sound that felt both raw and soulful. Influenced by Chuck Berry, Jimmy Reed, and Chet Atkins, he developed a style that wasn't flashy, but unforgettable, sharp, clean, and emotional. By the early 1960s, Cropper was a rising force at Satellite Records, which would soon become the legendary Stax Records. His instrumental group, the Marquis, earned early success, but his career shifted dramatically when he joined forces with Booker T. Jones, Donald "Duck" Dunn, and Al Jackson. Together, they became Booker T. and the MGs, one of the most influential soul bands of all time. They weren't just musicians, they were the heartbeat behind Stax. This racially integrated band, black and white musicians working side by side during one of the most divided eras in American history, created timeless music. They backed Otis Redding, Sam and Dave, Wilson Pickett, and countless others. And through it all, Steve Cropper kept a low profile, letting the music speak for him. He was the co-writer behind songs that defined generations. Green Onions, Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay, In the Midnight Hour, Knock on Wood. If soul music has a DNA, Cropper helped write it. One of his closest friendships was with Otis Redding. Together they crafted Dock of the Bay, a song completed just days before Otis's tragic plane crash. Cropper later said the song became even more emotional to finish after losing his friend. The whistling at the end of the track, one of the most famous outros in music history, was something Otis added spontaneously. Cropper kept it in as a tribute. Outside the studio, Cropper became a pop culture icon through the Blues Brothers, appearing in both films as the Colonel. His relaxed presence and signature guitar riffs made him a fan favorite, and the famous phrase, "Play it, Steve!" became part of music history. Throughout his career, Cropper earned endless praise, from Keith Richards calling him perfect, to Joe Bonamassa teaching guitar players how to copy his moves. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Songwriters Hall of Fame, and received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Even in his 80s, he kept recording, with his 2024 album, Friendly Town, receiving a Grammy nomination. But despite all the awards, all the recognition, and all the worldwide influence, Steve Cropper remained humble. In interviews, he always put the focus on the song, not himself. He often said, "I'm a rhythm player. I like to make everything else sound better." During his final days in the rehab facility, he wasn't talking about pain or fear, he was talking about music. He spoke about melodies he wanted to try, collaborations he hoped to finish, and ideas he felt excited about. According to those close to him, his final words were simple expressions of gratitude, thank yous, laughter, and warm goodbyes to the people visiting him. No dramatic farewell. Just a peaceful, content man still thinking about creativity and friendship. Steve Cropper leaves behind a legacy that stretches far beyond his own name. His guitar shaped the soundtrack of soul, rock, and R&B. His songwriting touched millions. and his gentle spirit influenced even more. He may be gone, but every time a simple guitar riff transforms a song, every time a soul track brings warmth to the world, a part of Steve Cropper plays on. Rest in peace, Steve Cropper. Thank you for the music, the soul, and the history you gave to us all.